Guys, it's your boy a.dTHEweeb back with another video. Now today's video gonna be my Naruto was in contact with the Otsutsuki part 4. So yeah, anyways, get the video for the like for the next part. And yeah, this is gonna be the basically the next series I'll be focusing on this to our finish, which is probably gonna take like a week or two. So yeah. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this series so far, and if you have any suggestion to basically what you want me to add to it, let me know in the comment section down below, or in my Discord server if you're in it, which if you haven't joined that yet, you probably should. There's like a link in the description down below where you'll be able to talk to me more and stuff like that, and basically all the people that enjoy my content as well, so you can like discuss with other people and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyways, without further ado, let's just get the video started. Yeah, before we start, I forgot to say one more thing. Basically, this is what Hanabi's gonna look like, but just imagine the yellow, instead of the yellow being black, like all the in her kimono or whatever, just like imagine that being black, and then the purple being kind of like red. So yeah, and being kind of flames and stuff like that. So just imagine that, and yeah, that's basically it for her. And this is Suki, basically Sasuke's sister, which is practically just Kid Mikato, to be honest with you, but with like different clothing and everything. So yeah, currently she, like, before she became a ninja, she was wearing this, and then when she's a ninja, she's wearing this in the middle, and then later on she's gonna be wearing that. So yeah, and this is basically Rose, which I don't really have a adult picture of her, so that's basically her. Yeah, I kind of forgot to say this before making the intro, but yeah, basically what's it called, this is pretty much gonna be Hanabi. This is what she's wearing, basically this clothing, but like instead of it being orange, it's black, and then the purple is like red, and also that little thingy is red as well. So yeah, anyways, in like, instead of it being just purple slashes whatever, it's just like a purple flame of some kind. So not purple flame, red flames, my bad. But yeah, that's basically what she's wearing. And this is Suki, so it's basically practically a smaller Mikato, but like a little bit different hairstyle and stuff like that. So this is pretty much what she was wearing when she was like younger, before she graduated and stuff. And then this is what she's wearing right now after she graduated, in the middle. And then she'll be wearing the other one in the future, but not right now. But yeah, and this is pretty much what Rose looks like, which I don't know how we have a older picture of her, so just like, yeah, and that's basically Rose. So yeah, anyways, without further ado, let's just get this actually started. I just started wave off with basically Yaiku Otsutsuki, and she had basically her Akatsuki cloak with, black cloak, red cloud, and white outlines. And she would basically say, "So this is where mother was. This is where mother is. I wonder how long will it take for me to in Naruto-kun to free her." And Zetsu basically come out of the ground and say, "I know you miss her. I know you miss her, but the more we stay without doing anything, the longer it will take to free her. And I'm sure that none of us wants that." As Yaiku would nod, and I should say, "You're right, brother." So what is the closest tail beast to me? Like, which one is the closest? Basically, she's asking for who's the closest beast to her. As Zetsu would say, there's a village nearby named Taki, or Waterfall village. As in the village, there's a girl with green hair, as she in orange eyes. She is the seventh Jinchuriki. As basically Yaiku would get up, and basically you hear a boom, as she basically took off with such a speed that it broke the sound barrier. As then we skip 5 minutes later, as basically we basically see we see a girl with green hair, orange eyes, and brownish skin, as she'll basically be get kicked in the chest by a shopkeep owner. As then the people who are basically walking around basically would start to beat on her. As then a boom would be, they would just hear like a boom, as the beating would stop, as the girl would open her eyes to see what happened, as she could only wish that she hadn't opened her eyes, as she would basically see a girl with pale white skin, two horns, kind of white eyes, similar to the Byakugan, and she basically be wearing the black cloak with cloud and all that. As other than her, there would be nothing around here. Literally, the whole village was blown away, as all the houses and pretty much all the houses and like shops and stuff like that will basically get blown away, killing pretty much everybody there except for the very very few that got lucky. As the girl would say in a shaky voice, "Who are you?" Is basically the other girl would respond saying, "I'm Yaiku Otsutsuki and I have come to get you, fool. So come with me, or I will have to use strength." As Fool basically get up very shakily and basically go with Yaiku, knowing that she can't really do much against her. As they will basically walk back to the whole trip would Fool's legs would basically be shaking, as they will arrive to see Pain, Toby, and Conan and Zetsu. And when I say Zetsu, is like basically Black Zetsu and the White Zetsu together with the fly trap and everything, not just one side. So yeah. Anyways, as Naruto in his genjutsu, like his true form, not no genjutsu. So he basically looks like this. So yeah, he looks like this, but his true seeing orbs aren't out yet. So and his eyes on the Rinnegan when he's in this form, it's just basically kind of like Yaiku, it's just like white or whatever. So yeah, as basically Pain would say, "Yaiku, so you have returned. I see you have returned, and you have that was rather fast. I've heard someone had destroyed the village that she was in. Was that you?" As Yaiku would simply nod, as she would basically come in the cave kind of with Fu. As Fu basically says, "So what do you guys want with me?" As Toby would basically jump up and start to run, as he would say, Toby Senpai's harem just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I think I need to put a poster saying how Toby is basically taken. But as Naruto basically say, Naruto basically now his eyes at Toby, as you basically start to say, "What do you mean?" As Toby would run to now Yaiku, and he basically was about to touch her until basically he was blown away. As Yaiku would basically say sorry but no touching. As Toby would basically start to cry, as all the other members would basically just look at him. As the Akatsuki would basically the rest of the Akatsuki members would appear, as Toby would basically start to run, saying, "Deidara Senpai, Yaiku is being so rude. She won't let me touch her." As he would basically start to cry even more on Deidara's cloak. As Deidara would basically push him away, saying, "Stop, Toby, you're soaking my clothing." As we skip 5 hours later, as the extraction was done, as basically Fu's body would drop on the floor and everything. As Naruto would basically say, "Hey Toby, look at this." As Toby would basically look, as he would basically would look up to see basically as Naruto. What the hell? Freaking hell. Wait, sorry about that. Anyways, basically Naruto would say, "Hey Toby, look at this." As Toby would look up, and as Naruto would be walking up to Yaiku, as then he would basically hold her chin up, as he would go to kiss her, but then he would start to basically laugh, as Yaiku would say, basically, you saw what's it called? As Naruto basically started to laugh, as Yaiku would say you just basically a dick, as Naruto will basically laugh even more, as you basically say, I'm just a hologram, whatever. Basically, you know how the Akatsuki use that little jutsus to make themselves seem here, but they're not really here. It's just like a thingy over them. Basically, he's a hologram, not the real deal. As Naruto will basically smirk, as you say, if you want the real deal, you have to come to the land of wave. As Toby would suddenly what's it called? Like he would basically start to run, as you would hold and up to Yaiku, as you try to hold her chin, as you start to basically get closer, doing the same thing Naruto did, but he would basically get sent back, flying by a sudden kick, as basically the kick that he basically received it where the sun is shine, if you know what I mean. Seeing him flying away, as you basically say, what was that for? I did exactly what Naruto did, and I still got kicked instead of a kiss. Why? As then Yaiku would walk up to him, as then she would basically disappear, leaving basically she would fly off like a boom as making it so due to her breaking the sound barrier, making it as Toby would basically be holding his head in pain, as a little bit of blood would come out of his ears just to the sound and everything, how it's really loud and everything. So yeah, as we see back to the Leaf Village, and the Akatsuki left by the time that everything happened. After the extraction, the Akatsuki just left. As back in the Leaf Village, basically as Naruto, Hanabi, Suki, Rose, all were sitting down in the academy, as Yuka would basically come in and start to list the different team, 1 to 6. As you say, team 7 would be Naruto, no last name. So yeah, basically he Naruto doesn't really go by the Namikaze Uzumaki name, and he doesn't really go by the Otsutsuki name yet. So yeah, and the next one is Hanabi, no last name. Rose, no last name as well. Suki Uchiha, as she basically actually is the clan head due to Mikato liking her and more than Sasuke, of course. And she being the true clan head, not Fugaku. Fugaku's just basically a clan member, but he was kind of strong, whatever, in quotation mark. But yeah, well, he was strong, but not worth all the thingy that they did for him. But yeah, anyways, not saying I really hate Fugaku, but yeah, anyways, basically, yeah, as the team leader would be Uncle Medowashi. As your team leader, as she basically said a name with kind of a pure disgusted look on his face. As team 12 or something like that would be, I don't know if there's an actual team 12, but if there isn't, then just team 12. Well, if there is, just a randomized team, doesn't really matter. For the team number, basically team 12 would be Mema Namikaze, heir of the Namikaze clan, Mito Uzumaki, heir of the Uzumaki clan, and Sasuke Uchiha, heir of the quote-unquote heir of the Uchiha clan. But then Suki would say, Iruka sensei, Sasuke is not the clan heir, I am, and you know it. As Sasuke would say, what do you mean? As Suki would basically say, are you this dumb? You know very well that my mom was the real clan head, and she named me her basically clan heir. As Sasuke would basically grit his teeth, knowing that it was true. As then he would smirk and say, I challenge Suki Uchiha for his title of clan heir of the Uchiha clan. As Suki would basically say, okay. As they would all go outside. As Sasuke would basically say, I'll put you and your demon friends in your place. As Sasuke will activate his one Tomoe Sharingan and basically rush Akatsuki, only for her to smirk and say, you're so weak and pathetic. I'll show you something that will make you realize just how weak and pathetic you really are. As she'll basically close her eyes and block his attacks. As then she'll kick his leg, making him jump to the ground. As then she'll basically do some hand side and say fireball jutsu, burning Sasuke's face, making it so that he looks pretty bad. And then most of his skin will basically be burns and shit like that. So yeah. And yeah, she would walk up to him and say, uh oh shit. Basically, like she would like walk up to her. What the hell? Basically, what's it called? Sorry about that. Sorry about for. Basically, she would walk up to him and say how he's really like weak and pathetic. That she didn't even have to use her Sharingan or even her regular eyes, and she would open back her eyes. As then she would basically say, "You're no longer a Uchiha. You're banished from the clan for being so arrogant and basically a weakling. You're being disgraced. You only bring disgrace to the clan. As get out of my sight." And she would basically kick him towards Mema and Mito. As then we skip after a while, Uncle would come into the room as to pick up her team, laughing at Sasuke for how Sasuke looks and all that shit. As they'll basically go to a training ground 44, or better known as the Force of Death. Shit, I don't know if I'm. Alright. Sorry about that, I was just checking for this recording. But yeah, anyways, basically they will go there. As they will get there and sit down in a little clearing. As then Uncle will basically say, "Okay, I'll introduce myself and you guys will follow. As my name is Uncle Emerdashi. I like snakes and dangles. I dislike my old sensei and perverts and a certain type of people. My dream is to kill and cut ties with my former sensei." As Hanabi will basically say, "I'll go next. My name is Hanabi. My likes are my friends in training. My dislike perverts and many people in this village," mostly referring to the clan and Naruto's quote unquote family. Freaking hell. As Rose will go next. Rose and Suki will basically say pretty much the same thing, except that Suki would say she has the actual last name, whatever. So yeah. As then Naruto would go and just basically say, "My name is Naruto, no last name. Do not call me by Uzumaki no Makaze because I don't belong to those clan anymore." And basically he says, "My dislikes, you don't really need to know that. My likes, you don't really need to know that as well. And like my dream is something that I will not be telling you yet, but you will see it soon enough," basically. As we basically skip a week later, as basically they would basically get called to Hokage office, as they would get a secret mission, as Minato would kind of want to get rid of Naruto. So yeah, that's why he gave him the secret mission, knowing that it was not really a secret mission. As they would basically go to, and when Tazuna came in and talk about Naruto, Hanabi basically put a kunai at his neck, making him shut up. As they will basically be traveling as the demon brothers will come out. As then the whole thing with like the chains and everything, with Hanabi and Suki beating them, while basically yeah. Meanwhile, over at the Akatsuki base, as we see Yaiku and the Akatsuki in a meeting, as Pain will basically say, Yaiku Otsutsuki, as you know, we need to make money for the Akatsuki. I have a mission for you. You will go basically have a mission for you. That will basically make us have quite a bit of money. And basically and he also said that partner of yours, Naruto, will be there. As Yaiku would basically nod, as then Tobi would start to basically scream. As they all look at him, as then Pain would say, "What's the matter?" As Tobi would basically be holding his butt, as he would say, "It hurts. These are simple idea to waffle with me last night." As everyone would look at him and then at Deidara, as then boom, the whole area would basically explode. As they would basically all leave, as a pissed off Deidara would basically be standing there in the crater, looking at basically down Obito, with Tobi, but yeah, whatever. As Yaiku would basically go to the land of waves, back to Naruto's team, as basically they just beating Zabuza, the demon of the mist, as they will basically go to the Thousanders house, as then Naruto will basically go outside to quote unquote train, as he'll basically meet up with Haku. He'll basically be staring at her for a long time until boom, basically he was basically sent flying away, as Naruto will basically get sent away by a kick, as you see Yaiku, as he will basically say, what was that for? As Yaiku would say, I don't mind you being with other girls, but I won't allow you to be with guys too. As Naruto's eyes would widen, as he would look at the back of Haku and say, you're a guy, in a shaky voice, as he basically, Haku would nod, as Naruto would say shit, as then Yaiku would raise her hand, pointing at Haku and shoot a bone, stabbing him, as he'll become ice, as then it would become dust because that was a working ash bone, as the real Haku was with Zabuza, as then Naruto would sigh, as then Yaiku would jump on him and say, you know why I'm here, you know why I came here, basically. I should basically start to make out with him, until Naruto would hear three voices would basically call out to him and say, Naruto, basically call out to him saying, Naruto, who is this? As he would look back to see Hanabi, Tsuki, and Rose, as they basically were standing there and staring at him, as he basically start to sweat, as Yaiku would get off of him, and as he would basically walk over to them, as she would basically say, I'm Yaiku Otsutsuki, I'm Naruto's fiance, shocking all of the girls, as then Hanabi would say, what is the meaning of this, Naruto? As Yaiku would basically sigh and say, well, you can just explain it to them. If they don't agree, then you know what to do. As Naruto would basically nod and go on to explain everything to them about who Yaiku is, that, shocking them, as then Suki would suddenly start to laugh, shocking everyone even more, as then they would basically look at her kind of strangely, as she would say, damn, I'm really grateful that you guys basically killed those bastards from my clan, though basically I really hate them, basically. Like, she hates her clan and all that stuff. So yeah, though I would prefer if you didn't kill my mom, as Naruto will basically say, I promise I'll give you back your mom. I should basically nod and say okay, as Naruto will basically smirk to himself, as he would basically say, you'll see, like, Suki would ask him how is he gonna do that, as Naruto would smirk to himself, saying you'll see soon enough, as basically he'll basically look at Hanabi and Rose, as they would say, freaking hell, as he'll basically ask them, what do you guys think? As Hanabi would say, well, as long as I get to kill my B of a sister, Hinata, then I don't mind joining you. As Rose would basically say, it's not like they really want me, and plus I want to be with you, so yeah, I'm joining you guys. As they'll basically nod, skip next morning, my bad, as they basically were just basically talking all night, as Yaiku would say, well, see ya, as basically she would disappear, freaking hell, she basically see at the bridge, as then she would disappear, as the group will basically go back to their houses. As we skip a week later, as they will basically go to a bridge, as Rose will basically sleeping a little bit late about that. Anyways, basically Rose will stay up a little bit late, and as that would basically happen, the rest of the team will basically go to a bridge. As they would start to get there, Mace would start to come in, as Zabuza would start to basically fight Uncle, and Haku would start to fight with Hanabi, Suki, and Naruto by using his ice mirrors, as Haku would basically throw put a symbol at Naruto, as then he would basically say, where's your other teammate? As Naruto would say, you mean Rose? As he would basically say, no, the other one, the one with pale white skin and horns. As Hanabi would say, he knows about her. But before she basically could continue, she basically would fall to the ground limp. As Naruto and Tsuki would basically look over at her in anger, as basically Tsuki would activate her Three-Tombo Sharingan, as then it would become the the MS, my bad, not EMS. Actually, yeah, just the MS, yeah, my bad. Basically, Naruto would activate the freaking his EMS, which because it's Otsutsuki, as then it would change it to the Rinnegan and then the Rinne Sharingan. Actually, no, just the Rinnegan, my bad. I'll give him that yellow. As then he would basically dash at Haku and break the ice mirrors, as that would basically be killing him because the mirrors would break and his body was in there. As then Hanabi would basically start to wake up, as Suki had just put out the needle out of her neck, as she would basically say, damn it, I really shouldn't have let my guard down like that. As we skip over to Zabuza, as he basically was filled with poison from, as Uncle had just used her snakes to poison him multiple times, as he was basically falling down on the ground dead. As then Gato would basically and his army would come, as they would basically start saying how they will kill the group of ninjas, as then the whole bridge was basically crashing down, as a girl with pale white skin, two horns, as she basically had the black cloak, red clouds, and white outlines, as then the girl would basically float down, as she would basically see all the dead thugs, and as they were basically killed by the rebels and that stuff, as she would basically find Gata's dead body floating on the water, as she would basically pick him up and float back to the bridge, seal him away in the storage seal, as she would basically start to walk towards Team 7, as Uncle would basically jump in the way, thinking that she would be attacking them, as she would basically say stay back, as the girl would ignore her, as Uncle would basically launch her hand forward, saying striking shadow snakes, as 50 snakes would come out of her hands and attack the girl, as it would bite all over her body, as she would basically stop walking. She didn't start walking, my bad. Stop walking. Fucking hell, I keep messing up. Sorry about that. But yeah, anyways, basically she just kept walking like nothing didn't happen, as all the snakes would come back to we basically inject poison into her, as then all the snakes would go back to uncle's hand, as the girl would basically say, can you stop doing that? It's not going to do anything. It's not going to work. It's just annoying. As basically she's immune to poison and stuff like that. So yeah, as basically she would just keep walking and go past them, as then Naruto would basically be standing right behind Uncle, as right when Yaiku would basically pass next to Uncle and then next to him, he would basically he would slap her ass basically, as making her blush, as then but she wasn't able to do anything because of Uncle being there, as Naruto would basically be smirking like crazy, as the girl would basically walk past until she arrived with the body of Haku and Zabuza, as she would basically seal them away, then she would basically raise her hand, as all the rebels would basically start to glow, as then they would go back to normal, rebuilding the bridge, as then she would start to fly away, leaving a confused Uncle in a group of gaining, acting like they were confused as well, as now Naruto would basically put the idiot mask on, and the mask kind of like in canon, as he would start saying, this girl is so strong, if I see her again I'm going to fight her, as Uncle basically just sighed, as Hanabi, Suki, and Rose would basically calm him down, in quotation mark, as they would basically go back to the village, as Naruto would basically go to his apartment. Basically, his uncle basically go to the Okage office, like building, whatever, as then she basically give a quick rundown of the mission, saying that about Haku and Zabuza, but she did not see Naruto's Rinnegan or Suki's MS, basically Mangekyou Sharingan, as she would explain the strange girl, but she didn't know her name or anything like that. Meanwhile, Suki and the others will basically come back to the Uchiha compound, which is where they live at, as Suki had just taken the eyes of Mikoto Uchiha, her mother, as she basically had the MS as well, but never used it. As then Rose would do an operation and also they live in the Uchiha compound, basically. So yeah, sorry about that. Anyways, basically, Rose would do sort of do operation on her, as before she left the house or Tsunade and stuff, she basically took off a lot of his scrolls that had the training regimen about chakra control, medical ninjutsu and stuff like that. Shit. So yeah, basically she's able to do. She's not like good at Tsunade or anything. She's just able to do what a regular medical ninja job should be, and she basically do Operation Suki. I just keep an hour later, as the operation was done. Now she basically needs to be healed, as Naruto would simply put his hand on her eyes, as they will basically start to glow white, as then they will basically be healed, making her have the EMS. As Naruto will basically go to sleep, as the same with the girls, but nothing will happen. As yeah, sorry about that. I had to go do something real quick because reasons. But yeah, anyways, basically Naruto would go to sleep with all the girls, basically Hanabi, Suki, and Rose, but nothing will happen. I don't mean sleep as in sleep. I mean like just literal sleep. So yeah. Anyways, we sleep a week later. Naruto would wake up to see basically Rose, Suki, no, just Rose, as she was basically sleeping on his right arm, as Naruto would basically kiss her on the head, as she would basically, as he would turn around to see Suki sleeping on his left arm, as he would kiss her as well, but he didn't see Hanabi, basically he would start looking around the room, but he couldn't see her anywhere, as he would look down to feel something really heavy on basically his lower half, as he would basically move the blanket to see Hanabi sleeping on him, as then he would realize that her head was in a very interesting area, if you know what I mean. As then Naruto would jump up out of the bed, walking basically away from the bed, as girls would basically get up and ask him what happened, as Naruto would basically be stuttering, as then he would explain what happened, as they would basically look at Hanabi in surprise, as she would basically shrug and say, is that all you were freaking out about? As she would basically smirk and look at Naruto as he was like freaking out and shit, as he basically would develop a little boner, I guess you can say, as she would like smirk to herself and say, well, if you want, I can take care of that for you, if you basically want, pointing at his pants, as Naruto would basically go pale, as then he would basically say, look at the time, we're going to be late, as he would disappear. As a couple hours later, they would basically meet up with Uncle, as they would basically get put in the Chuunin exams, whatever, like recommended and all that shit, as they would sign the paper and give it back to her and all that. As we skip a week later, Naruto would basically get a little visit from Zetsu, as Naruto would say, what is it? As Zetsu would explain something to him, as Naruto would go, and as we go back on the ground, as Naruto would go and explain the same thing to the girls, as we skip over to the soul or Hamura Otsutsuki, as he would basically smirk evilly, as he would say, well, it looks like it's time for me to start my plan, as he would disappear. Meanwhile, Yaiku would basically be sitting across from pain, sitting in a chair or whatever, as she would basically say, Leader Summer, may I be excused from the Akatsuki for about a month, as Pain would basically now his eyes at her eyes. He'll basically say, she would say, don't worry, I will come back. I just need to have a little trip and take some care of some personal businesses and whatnot. As Pain would basically be a little skeptical to let her go like that, but he would say okay, as have a you have a month to do whatever you want. As she'll basically say thank you, Leader Sama, as she will basically disappear. As she will appear back at the Otsutsuki planet, as she would say hello, father. As Ishiki would say hello, my darling daughter. Yeah, sorry about that. I got kind of interrupted. My bad. But as Ishiki will basically say hello, my darling daughter, as they will basically have a little conversation, as she will basically explain the situation about how Naruto having mystical girls, and as Ishiki will basically nod and basically say, I want to tell you, and I'm not Ishiki would say that. Yaiku will basically say, I also want to tell you, I plan to marry him soon, and so I would like to have it if I can get the thing basically, as Ishiki would nod as he would snap his fingers as they would bring her a box. It was kind of made out of like uh, a dark substance, but like there was like traces of gold on it and stuff. So yeah, anyways, as the person bring her the box, as she open it and smirk, not really smirk, just like smile really happy. So yeah, as she'll basically say thank you, father. Thank you very much, father. As HQ would basically nod, as then Yako would basically get serious, as she would say, now we need to talk about business. But guys, this was from me. I hope you guys like it, enjoyed. Get it for you like for next part, and yeah, there's gonna be some. The next part is gonna be mostly about the Chuunin exams and so on. So yeah, anyways, let me know what you thought of this one, and yeah. Before following you, I'm gonna be out for now. Peace.